Yo, what's good, Girl413 here back again today, and today, guys, we are here because Forza has just dropped a brand new car pack for Forza Motorsport 7. Now, some of you guys may have picked up on this, but there wasn't like anything that was shouting new car pack or anything like that. Besides, there was the fact that there was a big, huge update today. 4.8 gigs is what I had to download, which is just insane. But this car pack, guys, is honestly really good, and I'm loving it, and it is none other than the Samsung QLED TV car pack, which, honestly, I feel like this is probably the first time that it's a specific product that the car pack is named after, because in the past, you know, we've had something like Alpine Stars or Hoonigan, and they're just brands. Like, I could see the Samsung car pack, but the Samsung QLED car pack is a little interesting to me, considering the fact that it's just one product. I mean, Samsung is really pushing it because I guess there's like a war right now between Samsung and LG over who makes the best TV, because Samsung has their QLED while LG has their OLED, and basically they're almost the exact same thing. They have very similar technologies, but they do things just a little different, and it comes up with the same result, but it does it a little differently. And QLED stands for like quantum dot or something like that. I'm not going to get into it. I don't really know. I'm not a TV expert. And that's not even why you're here. You guys came here for the car pack, which let's go ahead and hop on into it, with our first car being the 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Quadrifoglio, or Quadrifoglio. That might be it. That might be closer, because that just me sounding it out. Honestly, guys, such a beautiful car. I have been wanting this car to come into the game since it was announced. This car is just absolutely stunning. It is gorgeous. It sounds mean. It sounds nasty, and I love it. I mean, just look at it. It's like really aggressive. It just, it screams fast. It screams hot sedan, because one, it's an Alfa Romeo, and I know a lot of countries and places in Europe, you know, they have Alfa Romeos, and a lot of times it's considered not necessarily to be the most reliable brand, but it is one of the most fun brands out there, and this car competes directly with cars such as the BMW M3 and M5, the M4. I'm not exactly sure which one it's mostly competing with, but this car has a 505 horsepower Ferrari 2.9 liter twin turbo V6 engine. That is fast. That is quick. In this car, guys, it's glorious. It is absolutely glorious. I mean, just look at it. Oh, it is so good. It is so good. We're going to wait for it to turn around so we maybe might catch a glimpse of that Ferrari V6 engine. And look at the seats, guys. Oh, one day I'll own one of these, because these are going to be sold in America. I have not seen one yet. If you guys have seen one, let me know down in the comment section, because holy crap, this is a good looking car. 21 years since Alfa Romeo has been sold in America, and they finally come back with a boom. That gets me pumped. Then our next car on the list is going to be the 2017 Fiat Abarth 124 Spider. And guys, there's not a whole lot I can really say about this car, because basically Mazda went up to Dodge, and if you guys don't know, or Chrysler or Fiat or Jeep or Ram, any one of those brands, because they're all the same, and said, look, we made this really fun, sporty, beautiful sports car. Why don't you guys give a crack at it? Because there is a long history between Dodge and Mazda relationships. And basically, what Fiat did is they took the 2017 Mazda MX-5, and then they changed the body and the badges, and that's it. I mean, that is pretty much what this car is. This is a Mazda MX-5, but it's like sporty. It's got those sort of bug eyes. It's more appealing to, I guess, the most people than an MX-5 is. It's cutesy compared to the MX-5. The MX-5 has got a little bit of grunt to it, Like, it's got those narrow headlights and stuff like that, where the 124, in my opinion, has a little bit more of a bubbly headlight, which may be more appealing to the general audience. I personally like both of them. I think both of them are really good, fun cars, and this car is just, oh, it is good. It is good. It is a fun road car that you can drive all day, every day. Just, it's so good. It is just so good. It's got that Italian flair, and it makes it appealing to most people. Then our next car on the list is the 2015 Honda Ridgeline Baja Trophy truck. Guys, when I think Honda, pickup trucks are not the first thing that comes to mind for me. When I think pickup truck, things that are born into my mind come into Chevy Silverado, Ford F-150, Toyota Tundra, Toyota Tacoma, Nissan Titan. Those are my big five. I know there are more out there, like there's the Nissan Frontier, there's the Honda Ridgeline, and there's plenty more, like Chevy Colorado, Ford Ranger. But those two, they're not real big here in America. And it's usually like some of these smaller trucks that really aren't all that popular. But the Honda Ridgeline is becoming a little bit more of a better truck, as in fact, it actually has won quite a few of those, what are they called? The ones that Chevy commercials are always talking about, like, oh, we got this award and all that sort of stuff. We had the most of these awards. Well, the Honda Ridgeline has been determined to be the most reliable pickup truck in its class. That is saying something, because that means that this truck is at least halfway decent. And it's just not something that I would really think about. But of course, we're not just talking about any Ridgeline. We're talking about a Baja Trophy truck. This is something that I would have more expected to have seen in, say, Forza Horizon 3, when, we had all that off-road, everything like that. Because this is a truck meant to, race in something like the Dakar. It's crazy. It is crazy. So, I mean, the Baja 1000, the 2015 course had 821 miles of rocks, sand, obstacles, and just craziness, and that's what this truck was built for. That's what it's built for. So, I mean, it's pretty good. It puts out 550 horsepower, 3.5 liter V6, and it is just, it's so good, and that is going to be the same power that actually goes ahead and powers the 2017 Honda Ridgeline. And it's just, it's still an awesome truck. I can't really argue with it. I honestly love this car pack. And our next car on the list is actually going to be the 1957 Maserati 250F. Now, I'm going to read some of what Forza had to say about this. Sterling Moss said it was one of the best front-engined Formula One cars he had ever driven. The great Juan Manuel Fangio broke the Nürburgring track record in a 250F 9 times in 10 laps in one race. So, I misread that for a second. Overcoming a 48-second gap to win the German Grand Prix on the second to last lap. There are just a few tales from cigar-bodied 250F's storied history as one of the last of the front-engine racers of its era. There were only 26 ever built, and their racing spanned from 1954 to 1960, piloting the 2.5-liter V12 powered tube frame chassis. I don't know what that other word is. But man, guys, I honestly do think that this is a good looking little Formula One car. I mean, it's a classic Formula One. And honestly, I wish I would have had this, a couple days ago when we were, doing that whole P3 thing. Because I believe that this would actually, qualify for that event. Although we didn't actually do a race at the birth of Grand Prix. Where we got to pick a car because we had to use the Alfa Romeo P3. But this car, it looks fun. It looks awesome. The tires are a little wider than the P3, I am noticing right here. But again, it's a great addition to Forza Motorsport 7. And not really appropriate, though, for the Horizon series, unlike we had with the Ridgeline Baja Trophy truck. This is appropriate for Horizon, not really Motorsport. This is Motorsport and not really Horizon. However, though, there's some people that still like to drive this in Motorsport, and people that like to drive this in Horizon, I bet. So I would drive this in Horizon. I drive this in Motorsport. It's just really going to come down onto what I'm actually doing. Then our next car is going to be, drumroll please, the 1984 Nissan number 20 Coca-Cola Bluebird Super Silhouette. Now, I'm not really familiar with this racing series, but I guess it's just a famous car that I just didn't know about. I mean, I was like going through this, and it's like apparently it has a staggering 562 horsepower LZ20B engine. Not that I really know what that engine is. I probably should, because it seems like it's a fairly big deal. Like when I was looking it up, it's just it was crazy. I've never heard of this race series before. The GT Racing Reborn. It's just something I never really heard of, never seen, and it's probably because I'm still kind of young, at like, you know, the young age of 23. Because this car was actually raced in the 1980s in the Fuji Grand Championship and actually ended up winning in 1980, 1982, and 3 of the 4 rounds in 1983. And it is just, it's good. It looks very neat. It's probably my least favorite out of this card pack because I just don't know a whole lot about the history of this car. And I'm sure, though, if I give it a try, I'll fall in love with it. But, I mean, that's going to happen with every single car that we have. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Really? So then our next car on the list is going to be not the Pagani Huayra Totino's edition. I will talk about that in another video. But it's actually going to be the 1978, number 78, Momo 935/78. And honestly, guys, this is just... Again, I don't know a whole lot about the history of this. It's in that early GT racing, but it looks pretty good. I mean, it's a Porsche. I mean, this is a Nissan. I'm a big Nissan JDM fan. And this is a Porsche, so you would think that this one just wouldn't be doing it. But there's something about the styling of it. It's got that classic 911 styling with it. It just honestly looks like somebody just put like a big old body kit onto a 911. That's what it looks like. And I'm not really sure. I'm sure that this car right here, it kind of looks like it's like a GTR or something. But I'm just not entirely sure. And it just looks like someone put a body kit on it. And I mean, it's just good. It's just good. So this car, I guess, has been referred to as Moby Dick, because it's just, I guess, yeah. That's really all it says. Moby Dick refers to this one car. But I guess it represented the peak of FIA Group 5 racing before the rules changed, making it obsolete. And it's just, it's crazy horsepower too. Reaching a top speed of 227 miles per hour with 845 horsepower. That is insane, guys. 845 horsepower. Now... Just look at that. Just look at that. 845 horsepower. That's crazy. That is crazy. And then our final car on this list is honestly, surprisingly, one of my favorites on this list. And it is a Toyota. Hashtag Toyota coming back. We got the 2016 Toyota Land Cruiser Arctic Truck AT37. Which, again, I feel like this is how Forza is going to try and bring back some of the Land Rovers, is using other brands. Where they can, you know, basically put it under Toyota, but it is essentially a Toyota. And honestly, guys, I love Toyota's new styling, especially on their off-road vehicles. Like the new Tacoma TRD, God, it looks good. It looks good. I mean, I almost bought one. That's how good it looks. Because I was shopping around online, just looking at cars. Then all of a sudden, 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD, $22,000. I'm like, what? And this was before like all the hurricanes and stuff, so I wasn't really worried about water damage. And I was just looking it up, and it's like, okay, so it's not actually a TRD. It just said TRD in the listing, okay. And we started looking through it, and then all of a sudden, it says has to sell due to health issues, and it's like, oh. I feel bad for that guy, but I really want that truck. I didn't end up buying it, of course, because at the moment, you know, that was still kind of earlier in the year, and I still don't feel necessarily comfortable with buying a new car yet. But I was really, really tempted to go purchase this thing. I don't even know where it was at. It could have been somewhere in like California. I just didn't know. I was just, because when I go and look at cars, I look at all cars in the country just to see if, like, you know, what average prices are, because it's just, it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. But guys, this car, again, it gets me going. And it's one of those cars that I would have really more expected to be in Forza Horizon 3 than Forza Motorsport 7. And I hope that it definitely carries on to the next game, because it really, really needs to. But anyway, though, that's where I'm going to go and wrap it up for today. If you guys want to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/Greg413 and Instagram.com/Greg413 as well. If you guys like this video, go to make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you guys already know your support is so greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe for more videos coming out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Bye.